All right, cool. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share my screen, and I'll send you guys the links to kind of what we'll be going over so that you guys can see as well. Um, and if you have any questions at all, just let me know. We're gonna be going over pretty much basal metabolic rate, calculating calories, um, going over activities of daily living, and then kind of what you should be consuming calorically in order based off your goals, whether it's weight loss, whether it's to put muscle mass on. We can kind of see where you guys should need to be at calorically each day. Um, I don't want you to obsess over the number of tracking everything on like my fitness pal of every single food that you put in, that you eat, because over time it's impossible to do. We want to come up with something that's gonna, work for you, where you're not tracking every single food that you eat on MyFitnessPal calorically, but it is nice to know where you should be at. And then over time, I'd rather you focus on the quality of calories that you take in, and kind of having an idea, obviously, of the quantity as well. But long term, it's almost impossible to track like a year's worth everything you do on MyFitnessPal. So our goal is to kind of create a better picture for you of what you need to do, how exercise affects it, how activities of daily living affects that, and then based off of your basal metabolic rate, which you guys should all get from your in body. So I'm just going to start to share my screen now. All right, can you guys see my screen now?
Yes.
All right, so everybody got this? Everybody has access to the September challenge folder and everything?
Uh-huh.
Have you guys gone through
Yes.
that?
I have a little bit.
A little bit.
All right, so on here we got a healthy grocery list for you guys to look over. A lot of good stuff broken up between vegetables, fruits, protein, healthy oils and fats to cook in. And then each week we have breakfast ideas, lunch ideas, side dish, snack ideas for you to do for some meal prep stuff. So if you've been stuck on different ideas for yourself to cook, there's a bunch of different meal prep recipe ideas that you guys can use. Even if you want to just pick one breakfast one lunch one, whatever you guys want to use this to your disposal to kind of cook up some different foods for yourself throughout the week. The big thing that I want to go over today is going to be calculating calories. So on an in-body scan, so when you get your in-body scan, on this area over here, it says basal metabolic rate. So this is Jane Doe. This is just an example that I pulled from the internet. This is a female. She's 5'5". She's 31 years old. She weighs 135 pounds. Her basal metabolic rate is 1,231 calories. So what I want you to think of basal metabolic rate is pretty much it's the amount of calories that your body is going to burn in order to stay at the same weight that you are at right now. So if I were to wake up today and I stayed bedridden, for this person, she would burn 1,231 calories. So that's her staying in bed all day, not moving at all. Her body, in order for her heart rate to go, her breathing to go, and everything like that, that's the amount of calories that her body needs to burn in order for her to maintain that weight. That does not equate in activities of daily living, and it does not calculate exercise. On average, activities of daily living, which is going to the grocery store, going to work, picking up your kids, you can burn anywhere from 300 to 400 calories during this time. And then when you factor in exercise, and a lot of you guys use your Fitbits and your Apple Watches, that does calculate heart rate and calories. Find that those 200 calories less than the actual number actually are burning in your workouts. Workouts could be anywhere from 500 to 600 calories. I know there's some people that burn a lot more than that. Sorry, is my internet going here? There are some people that burn a lot more than that, but to be safe, I would say, that's a good ballpark. Any questions so far?
Nope.
All right. So I'm going to
All right,
copy.
Kyle, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you said a workout is 500 to 600 calories?
That's me giving a rough average estimate.
Okay. Because
Um,
I wear my Apple Watch and I get like 250.
yeah. So what I want to
Consistently.
do, actually, I want to buy a polar heart rate watch and monitor for somebody. And so I had a Lafayette field hockey coach used to come to our fitness center. And the one day I had her wear her Apple Watch and I had her wear her polar heart rate monitor, which is a strap that goes over your chest. And there's also a watch to it. And that ended up showing like another 250 calories burned compared to the Apple Watch.
Okay.
So I think what I'll do is I'm gonna pick up one or two of them and I'll leave them at the gym. And for anybody that has questions on it to see kind of like if your Apple Watch or anything is working the way it's supposed to, we can kind of compare numbers then.
Okay. Thanks.
But I don't think it's as accurate. Now the Apple Watch is going to be great when you're going for a run and you're doing like any type of cycling because it's not getting a lot of movement on your wrist. But with the workouts that we do at the gym, it is a little bit more challenging to get an accurate number.
Okay. Thank
So,
you.
yeah, absolutely. I'm going to copy and paste this link into the chat, and I want you to use this for yourself. This is going to be important. So it's the Calorie Calculator. So I just put that into the chat for you guys. I want you to click on that, and you're going to fill that out for yourself. If you want to watch for me right now, so I'm going to go off of the example that I showed you. So this woman is 5'5". She's 31 years old and 135 pounds. So her basal metabolic rate was 1231, like I told you guys. And what we're going to do is we're going to plug in her information to kind of see where she needs to be. So 5'5", 135 pounds. And we're going to say that her exercise and activity level is 1 to 3 days a week, which is going to be lighter. But that could be anything from going out for walks on lunch and different stuff like that. So we'll hit calculate. So here's her numbers. To maintain weight loss, she needs to consume 1,868 calories. So if you think back on the InBody, her InBody showed 1,231 calories. And then, like I had told you guys, with activities of daily living, that's around another 300 to 400 calories, which puts her around the 1,600 to 1,700 mark. And then with her working out, in order for her to maintain her weight, she needs to consume 1,868 calories. So that's about a 600 caloric increase from what her basal metabolic rate, which is what I kind of want you guys to start to understand of where you need to be around in order for you to kind of get to the body fat percentages or the weights that you want to. Now, I want to preface that saying you never want to go below 12 to 1,300 calories in a day. Your body requires a certain level and a certain number of calories for you to consume. Our brain runs approximately like 90% off of sugar, glucose, stuff like that. So our body needs carbohydrates in order to function. So you never want to go below 12 to 1,300 calories. So while you guys are here, plug in all of your information for me. So go in, put in your age, your height, your weight, and then most of you guys are working out pretty hard here. So I would put the moderate exercise of the 4 to 5 days a week. Or even, the active or very active, whatever you guys feel like you're at, but use one that is going to be best represented for you. And then that's going to give you a number where you can be at. And this really is, what all of the nutrition is going to go around for you in order to kind of get to where you want to be. We need to know calorically where you need to be at consuming. And that's going to be different for everybody. Everybody's going to have a different basal metabolic rate. Everybody's going to have different calories that you need to be consuming per day. But if you look at it, mild weight loss, so we got a 0.5 pound per week and 1 pound per week. And I know some of those don't sound like much, but 1 pound a week done over 1 year is 48 pounds that you would be down, which is a lot of weight. So I don't want you to think, oh, only a half pound per week, only 1 pound per week. There are going to be some weeks where the scale does more than others and it moves more. But don't kind of get stuck up on only a half pound or only 1 pound, because it does add up over time. Let me know if you guys have any questions on adding in your stuff to kind of get a number for you. Does anybody have any questions, or anybody think that their number is a little bit too high or their number is a little bit too low?
I have a hard time eating that much. That's a lot of calories in a day.
Yeah. So that's another issue that we run into with some people is we find that sometimes some people, they get stuck or plateaued a little bit in their weight loss. And most of the people that I talk to, we find that they're consuming too few of calories. And I know it sounds really, it sounds backwards, but sometimes them increasing their calories, if they're at too low of an end, we had one woman do that. I remember like a couple years ago, and we had her increase her calories by about 200 to 300 calories per day. And she ended up losing like 5 pounds that week, which is really crazy to think about. But she was consuming too few. So I kind of tell everybody this. So say you're going on this expedition in the woods and you don't have much food, and what's going to happen is you want to conserve, and your body's going to want to hold on to everything that it has. So it's going to go into starvation mode. When it goes into starvation mode, it's going to want to preserve your body fat, your muscle. It doesn't want to work as hard to burn everything off for yourself. So what we need to do is find an area for you where you're burning calories at all times, but your body's also using the food that you are using to replenish with muscle and burning fat. So the numbers of the results that you got here of mild weight loss to maintain weight, I think the mild weight loss to the weight loss, like that range, I think that's a good area that you should be in my personal opinion, because that's kind of where you're going to be burning calories, but you're also going to be able to recover, from the workouts and all that.
Okay.
What do you know how many calories you're taking in per day?
I started tracking maybe like 2 months ago,
Yeah.
and I got so confused in the beginning because I kept thinking like I was trying to be in a calorie deficit, and I'm like, I had it all wrong. I'm like not realizing like that you keep the calories. It's just the working out and your daily stuff will then help take away from them. Where I was like, I'm like, I thought I had to take away calories that the same amount that I was burning a day, which was wrong. But I think I was like I was only at like 900, 1,000 calories.
Yeah. So we want to find that sweet spot where it's not too little. Like I said, you don't want to be, and Michelle wrote it in on here. I think it's 1,300.
Okay.
Where she put it?
Oh, there she says 1,800 calorie day. Wow.
Yeah. She kind of breaks it down, based off of breakfast, lunch, dinner, how you guys can break down how many you're consuming of each. But she did. I thought she had in here where you don't want to go below. I know it's either 1,200 or 1,300.
Okay.
But yeah, like I said, so I mean, on the example I showed you guys, this basal metabolic rate is 1,231, but to maintain, it was showing around 1,800 to 1,900 calories. So don't forget the amount of calories that you burn, throughout the day, running around with the kids, with work, and then with exercise. All of those things really, really do add up. Any questions on anything?
Nope.
Mary Beth, did you get all your numbers and everything? Your mic is mute. Let me.
Okay. I'm
There you
having, I don't know. I can't see my, I did not put in my numbers because I can't see my, chat or your shared screen. I don't know
Okay.
what's up with my Zoom. So,
Let me,
I mean, actually now I can't see you at all. Can you see me?
yes, I can see you.
I wonder what I look like because I can't see myself.
Oh, you're so
You're good.
pretty.
We can see you. We can see you.
I might actually go on my phone and see, like, log on somewhere else.
So
I
let me,
do know about how many calories I eat a day. I
Yeah.
struggle. I definitely eat like 15 to 1600 calories a day.
yeah, I
but-
just emailed you the link. I just
Okay.
emailed it to you.
Thanks.
So you're gonna have that. You can plug in everything. That's where I honestly, with a lot of women that I talk to, I find a lot of them struggle to consume the necessary calories that they kind of should be at. Is that kind of what you feel as well?
Well, I think I eat a lot. Like, I
Yeah,
don't have that problem.
yeah,
I feel like I can eat a lot.
yeah.
But okay, now I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, no worries. Take your time. Jen,
Sorry.
you're good. Jen, were you able to figure out your numbers?
Yeah.
Now, Mary Beth, I think you're on your phone and computer. This is impressive.
I think I just turned my computer off. Did I?
There you go. You got it. You got it.
This is better. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
that's
You're
okay.
back in.
I'm not really too techy here.
As long as we can figure out your calories today, that's it.
I really struggle. Like, I definitely can eat a lot of calories. That's eating too little is not my problem. But
Okay.
sometimes I don't know what the quality of my calories not really good.
Yeah.
And I really, I don't know. Like, if I eat too, I don't know. I struggle.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. I feel like I work really hard and I have a pretty active lifestyle in general, but
Mhm.
I don't know.
What, for each of you, what would you say your hardest meal is? Is it breakfast, lunch, dinner? Where do you find you're consuming most of your calories?
Dinner.
Mine is lunch.
For me, I don't like, I feel like when I eat a lot. I don't always eat 3 times a day.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
Kind of a problem, I think. But like,
Gotcha.
I can be so busy all day and then it's like, oh, it's dinner time, and then I eat so much.
So it's a lot more of calories consumed at one time compared to spread out throughout. Yeah.
Definitely.
And I know it's tough. And
I would do that too. One meal I would eat so much. So I stopped and I started, like, I forced myself to eat like 5, 6 little meals throughout the day. Like, I'll just eat like rotisserie chicken. Like, you know what I mean? Because I
Yeah.
know, like, I can do the same thing. Like, I can wake up and then not eat till like 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right.
And that's
right.
so bad because I already worked out and I'm not giving myself anything after, you know what I mean? So
Yeah. One thing that I would say, and I never try to push like protein supplements on anybody, but for people that do tell me like they don't eat much throughout the day and then they find that they're sitting down, they're consuming a lot of food later. Even if you did a protein shake for like lunchtime
Mm.
or as a snack, as like a little filler throughout the day, that's going to keep you less hungry, and it's probably going to allow for you to consume less in one meal later during the day. So even if you could do a protein shake or a Greek yogurt, but
Okay.
if you can do something 2 to 3 hours before you find yourself where you are consuming a good amount, you should find, so protein keeps you full for a longer period of time. So it takes that feeling away, and so does, where people drink more water and different stuff like that. But that's where I usually tell people that if you want to do some type of protein shake, that would help you out in that instance. And then Jen, did you say lunch?
Yeah. Yeah,
What do you find about lunch? Is it what you're eating at lunch? Is it
probably.
okay?
But lately I've been like really good and cautious and like bringing my lunch instead of like ordering out type of stuff.
Cool.
Because we do that like every Friday, but I stopped doing that
Yeah.
since I started with I at the gym. So
Yeah.
um but yeah, it was a struggle, and it depends, like through each day is different for me.
Gotcha. And I want you guys to understand that you can eat off track. Like I want you to be able to on a Friday to go out with your friends or order pizza, stuff like that. But we want to find stuff that works for you, the 80-20 principle, right? 80% of the time we're on track, we're doing what we have to do, which allows for you to have that 20 where you can enjoy yourself, you can go out for drinks with friends, stuff like that. So that's my goal of this September challenge is for us to really narrow that 80% in, so that you guys have kind of a better picture where you need to be at calorically, but also to find out where you're weaker at in your daily routine of your eating habits. So that's what I find most of nutrition is it's eating habits. And most of the time, like we have the 7-day food journals at the gym. I have people fill that out because what I can see is, all right, they skip breakfast 6 out of 7 days a week. They don't have any lunch. They're consuming 90% of their calories from dinner till the time they go to bed. So I see most of the time it's behavioral stuff, based off of how busy, our days are, which it is challenging. So did anybody meal prep this week?
I
I
did.
did, yes.
What do you guys make?
I'm like a weirdo where I don't mind eating the same thing every day. So
Yeah. Yeah.
on a Sunday, I've actually got my husband doing it too with me, but like
Nice.
we'll just ground up like ground turkey and chicken. And then I love like the long grain wild rice. So I'll mix that
Beautiful.
right with like broccoli or vegetables and stuff. And I even was like a nerd and went on Amazon and bought like the little
Love it.
meal prep,
Love
Tupperware.
it.
But
Can
because
you
I did.
can you post that to the community page, what you did and what works for you?
yeah, sure. Cause honestly, meal prep, like I have 4 kids. So for me, it's like the convenience part of it. And
Yeah.
plus also, like I was saying, I'll go all day and not eat because I don't want to take the time out and make something. So this is like, boom, right in the
Yeah.
microwave, air fryer or something.
That's
So
awesome. If you can post that, that would be awesome.
sure, I don't mind.
And then Jen, what did you make?
So I made like a bunch of like turkey burgers. I got some English muffins, like the
Nice.
100-calorie ones, and a lots of chicken. So, and I like the long rice too.
Yeah, it's so, and you can buy them in like a little 2-pack where you just throw the little ones in like the microwave for like 30 seconds. They're
Yeah.
it's actually almost like portioned for you. So you're not making like a
Mhm.
box of it,
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what I want you guys to do this week, I want you to work on one area that you struggle with your nutrition. Like Jen, you said at lunchtime. So whether that's meal prepping for 3 out of the 5 days this week of your work week, but I want you guys to find, what is your biggest struggle, and then let's start to work on that. So instead of, changing everything all at once. So if we're consuming a lot of calories later during the day, what time are we typically consuming those calories at? And then backtracking off that, what could we add in for breakfast or lunch? And that's where I want you guys to go into what Michelle and I had made up for you guys in that September challenge thing. There's plenty of ideas in there for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. Pull out some of those and utilize it. And let's just start with one small change. You guys should all know calorically kind of where you need to be at or around. And once again, you're burning another 600 to 800 calories each day on top of what your basal metabolic rate is. So we got to take that into consideration. And then, like I said, the big thing that I want you guys to do is your biggest struggle right now. What is it? Why do you feel like that is happening? Like, why do you think that's occurring? and then how can we work our way back on breakfast, lunch, and dinner in order to make those, successful for you guys. Any questions at all for me?
So Kyle,
Yeah.
I feel like some of my struggle is I don't love like meal food, and I don't really love meat. So
Okay.
I really struggle to eat. Like I'll eat chicken or like ground chicken or ground turkey, but that's pretty much it. I just don't
Okay.
like it.
Yeah.
So I feel like I eat a lot of like carbs and fats, like peanut butter and that kind of stuff. And then the other bad thing I do is if my kids aren't home, I don't cook dinner because I
Yeah.
feel like why bother?
Yeah.
And then I eat random things like chips and salsa for dinner.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's like that's really bad.
Oh my God, you're so fun.
Well, I know, Mary Beth, what we need to do. We need to get you eating your own meals on the days when you don't have your kids. That's our first step. But you owe it to yourself. You deserve it to have a good sit down meal for yourself. So I would say on the days where it is just you, pick a couple of those different recipes for yourself, or even like ground chicken and ground turkey, all that stuff is fine, even if you're not eating any of the other meats.
Mhm.
Do vegetables. You could do some vegetable skillets with quinoa, stuff like that. But the biggest thing is our body runs and operates off of what we provide with it, what we're consuming. In order for us to operate at our best, there's so many different things that need to go on. We need to be eating properly. We need to be sleeping properly. We need to be as hydrated as best as we can. And I know all those different things are hard to do all of them, but if we can at least increase one area from say 40% up to 75%, it's going to enhance everything else that comes along with it. So the days that you say or you think you would struggle most, maybe this week just really try to, get into a good routine for yourself where you can, and then that chips and salsa could be more of a snack for you. I mean, don't get me wrong. Some good salsa with avocado and everything it's good.
Yeah.
Well, like I have the mindset, oh, well, I might as well just eat chips and salsa and not waste my calories on like chicken. I don't know. bad mindset, I guess. But
Hey, at least, so I mean, how many days a week would you say that is?
twice a week, definitely.
Okay.
And then throw in a weekend that they're not home, and then it's an entire weekend.
Do you eat leftovers?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I'm like Aaron. I can cook. I can eat the same meal for 2
Yeah.
weeks straight. I don't mind that at all.
Yeah.
So what I would like for you guys by the end of this September challenge too is I want you to find a breakfast that works for you. I want you to find a lunch that works for you, and I want you to find a dinner that works for you. Because like for myself, like I've been eating like a Greek yogurt every morning for like the past 8 or 9 years, and it sounds like it's so bland, but once you find something that really does work for you and you find how your body operates off of it, like it works very well. And then with variations, you can throw, you throw some granola into it or fruit. You do have to watch how much sugar you're adding into your diet, but once you find something like chicken and quinoa for lunch with broccoli or cauliflower, you find stuff that does work for you. And I don't think it gets as boring as most people think it does.
Yeah. You can do so much with cauliflower that you don't even forget you're eating it, that it's cauliflower.
Seriously, 100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Lasagna. Well, not like lasagna, but like a ziti almost. But
Mhm.
instead of noodles, I used cauliflower. And
I think you made that for us when we had Parker.
Yeah, but
It was phenomenal.
At like once a week sometimes too, because my kids don't like it so much. But that's another thing then that I can just eat at lunchtime, and I just have to warm it up,
Yeah, no, that's a really good one. That's very good.
Calorie, I have to find. which I've cut now, obviously, with doing the challenge and stuff, but I could probably consume all my calories in alcohol if I tried. Like that was a big thing for me, especially during COVID. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so that was one thing that I knew I was just putting like empty stuff in me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's horrible. I mean, it's fun, but it's horrible.
Yeah. I mean, we've had during our challenges in the past, we've had people cut out alcohol of their diet in 30 days and change
Right.
nothing else. They didn't change anything else besides stop drinking, and they lost anywhere from like 8 to 10 pounds.
I know, it's sick, man. It's crazy.
Wow.
It adds
Like,
up.
that much, but just
It really adds up, you know, and you would think like, you know, a glass of wine a night, like it really does add up over time. And so in order for you to lose a pound, there's 3,500 calories in a pound. So someone that loses 10 pounds, they put themselves in a caloric deficit of 35,000 calories, you know, which is a lot. And it takes a lot of time to do that. But all of these small and minor adjustments really allow for you to kind of add up to that. And the big thing is all of us struggle with something in our diet and our nutrition. We all do. And it's just a matter of fine tuning what you struggle with, you know, the weaknesses and making it as best as you can for yourself. So don't feel like, you know, everybody's nutrition is perfect, because it's not. So we want to fine tune throughout the month of September and make this as best as you can for you to take all of this information with you to kind of create your own personal plan with all of this stuff. Anything else?
Nope.
Cool. So we're going to do a call next Tuesday at the same time. Once again, I want you guys to, you know, think about where do you struggle, and, you know, what meal is that? And then if it is, you know, breakfast or lunch or dinner, you know, look into the resources that we gave you guys, and there's some different options for you. And then once again, if you find that you're eating all your calories at the end of the day, try to do some meal prep in the morning or for lunchtime, or some different snacks for yourself. Worst case scenario, you pick up a protein shake and you do a protein shake during the day. That would be like the worst case if you're not doing, you know, the food, or you find that you're stopping at McDonald's or a Burger King for lunch. You know, utilize the protein shake. That's always nice to add that in. Sound good?
yes.
Sounds
And
good.
if there's any ever personal questions that you guys ever want to ask with your calories depicted for you, feel free to email me. Or if you're ever at the gym and you want to go over, you know, your calories for yourself, just pull me to the side and I'd be happy to go over it with you guys.
All right.
Hey,
All
thank
right,
you.
guys.
Thank you, Kyle.
Yeah. Hey,
Bye.
have a great day. All right.
You too.
Bye.
All right,
Bye.
bye-bye.